See, if you're already in the retirement season, what it means is that the resources you have, you cannot apply to high risk investments. You can't. Because if anything goes wrong and you lose the money, you cannot recoup because you don't have the time or the energy to go and earn again. If a 30-year-old, a 40-year-old loses money, they still have time to try and recover. So that tells you the risk profile of your investment will be different. All right? So all this MMM thing they do, please do not carry your, Yoruba people say, "Nton wafa." Too many people have found the ofo of it because they're looking for quick money. Trust me, it is impossible for those things to work. I can analyze it for you, but we don't have the time. It's absolutely impossible. There is no economic model that allows it to happen, except something wrong is being done somewhere. The last people are paying for the first set of people. Somewhere along the line, everything is going to crash. So that's not what we're talking about. So do not take high-risk investments. Now, if people come and meet you, and they are professionals who go and look for retirees in order to take from them their retirement money. But because of the naivety of a lot of people, because they don't even understand how money works, they fall prey to it. If you have a house that you're collecting rent from, that is cash flow. Because what is the most important thing that you need every day is cash flow. Where does cash flow come from? Your return on your investment. So if you have houses that you build to rent out, that's rental income is cash flow. Sometimes landlords want 3 years rent. It's actually not wise because you are punishing yourself. Because if you have the 3 years rent and life happens and people know you have it, other people will plan for your money. Then you have to wait 3 years. The asset is there, but you have no right to any money from it. You're actually better off to design your income around your cash flow need. Which means if your rent is quarterly, half yearly, or yearly, it helps you better with cash flow. And then the wise thing to do, if you have bulk retirement money that they give you, like the person said, I have 1 year salary set aside. Good. What can you do? If you put your 1 year money in deposit and put it on 1 year tenor, you actually get a lower interest. Why do they give you a lower interest? 1 year is a long time. The economic situation can change, but if they're locked in with you, they can't change it. So they calculate their risk. They give you a lower interest. But you get higher return on like 90 days or even 180 days. And there's nothing that says you cannot do the 90 days. You just put it on rollover. It means every 90 days you roll over. So you get the highest interest rate on it, and every 90 days you just ask them to roll it over. And when you do that, what you do is you take the return on it, you spend the interest that you are paid every 90 days. Ensure that that interest is the cash flow that is for your spending. And therefore you can plan your spending around what you know is your return. Now, the person says, I have shares and all of that. The problem I find with a lot of Nigerians, especially old people, they buy it as if it's a piece of jewelry. Stock market is not to buy paper. Some people have bought shares for 20 years. They've not done anything with it. Frankly, it's a tradable asset. The way you make money from it is, okay, I'll give an example. So last year, when all the banks started fundraising, somebody bought some shares of one bank. And as those shares got to a point, it was clear that dividend was going to come. But the person who understands the stock market knew that this particular bank doesn't have much room to grow anymore in terms of the value of their shares because it was already overpriced. So the person took profit, sold a percentage of it, took profit, took part of that money, went to buy the shares of another bank. Why? Because that bank had more room to grow, but it was also within the window. There's like a 90 days window within which if you already own the shares, you will partake in their dividend for that year. Most people don't understand. It's not about holding the share for a whole year or for 10 years. There's a date, there's a cutoff date. If you have shares by that date, you will take dividend no matter what. So the person said, okay, sell this portion, go and buy, take profit, go and buy this number of shares from that other bank. And now that is dividend season, you get dividend from 2 banks rather than from 1, and you also get capital gain because the share has increased in value, which allows you to be able to sell and take profit. The general practice with the shares is you consider what is a safe value return on your shares. A wise person can say, every time my share price appreciates by 40% or 50%, I will sell some. I will sell a percentage, enough to recover my original investment. I will now leave the remaining in it, so even if that share crashes, I haven't lost anything, because I've recovered my original investment and some profit. And then you take the profits, it can meet your cash flow and all of those things. There are also some other options. For someone that is much older, you're looking for low risk investment. Do you know how to buy shares yourself? No. So don't. What should you do? Go and look for financial institutions that can be trusted. Buy into their mutual funds. Why is that important? Mutual funds, you can enter with small amounts. A lot of them start from like 5,000 naira per unit, 10,000 naira. It's not a big amount. So even children can start buying. You buy 1 unit, you buy 2 units, you buy 5 units. Maybe minimum entry is 50,000. No problem. You can trade it within 3 or 4 days and get cash if you really need cash. But they are professionals managing the entire portfolio, and they can buy and sell as is necessary, the way you cannot do on your own. And when they do it, all the profit they make at the end of the year, they will declare the profit and they will increase the value of your coupon by that. And so you get paid at the end of every year. When you are in retirement age and you do not understand stock market and all that, you're better off with mutual funds. You're better off with like properties that are generating rent for you. And you put some cash. And you must know how to categorize your assets. If you have 100% portfolio, how much of it should be in cash? How much will be in mutual funds? Maybe about 30-40% in mutual funds. So it's money that is available but not available. You have to do something to get it. So somebody cannot come to your house in the morning and say, I need money now. You can't give them. Why? Because the money is in a safe place. You know, church, we're too emotional. We make a lot of emotional decisions, not necessarily rational or correct decisions. We act like God. You want to help everybody. I didn't say you shouldn't help. Like I said, I told you that I do missionary work. But I'm saying that every help is not God ordained. So you have to learn how to listen to God and hear God give you instruction. But if you make yourself poor helping others, you will all be poor together. Yes, let's be honest. So there's a lot of wisdom that you need to understand what the Lord has called you to, and you need to organize yourself.